signs in the sun, moon, and stars. Tabernacle of the bridegroom at the foot of the bride. Welcome back, family. If you are a bride of Christ, I pray this is a great anointing on your day. We're taking a step back. As I said, we're going to dig a little deeper into this 3D BEEHIVE. And what I found is pretty amazing. This is another great sign in the heavens going back to 2017 on 329. And we're going to be digging into that a little bit. This is considered part 3 of At the Foot of the Bride because of what we found with Comet Biela in the constellation of Gemini. And we'll be digging deeper into that current sign, but we're going back in history because I want everyone to see this comet's interaction in the constellation of Aquarius in 2017. This is in the spring before the Revelation 12 sign. And here we have 3D BBL, and we have the Watchmen comets. And this is really important for us to see this group of comets. You can see they are literally all the way through the constellation of Aquarius. On this day, we really get a great view of the alignment. Literally looks like they are becoming the water bearer. And on this day, where you have Biela at the elbow of Aquarius and the Watchman comets all the way through the body of Aquarius, you have a very important sign or an alignment. We're looking at Comet 2P Encke and also Neptune. So we have Encke aligning with the body of Aquarius and Neptune in the water stream of Aquarius. This is going back 329, 2017. And we all know what happened in 2017 with Jupiter in the womb of Virgo, and this is happening while Jupiter is in the womb. It began. I consider it as November of 2016. Is when I actually witnessed with Stellarium Jupiter going into the womb. But there are some who say that it didn't happen until later. You can really go and look at Stellarium yourself and watch the transition. It's not difficult. That's for a different video, though. We are we're looking at the language of this comet Biela and what's associated with it in this constellation at this time. 329 and 923 are very, very important numbers, especially when it comes to ritual. Um, we have a possibility of uh, this being used because of these alignments. This comet group can be used, and I believe that the powers that be, they do this kind of, they use this because this is heavenly. This is energizing the heavens. Um, and it's difficult for people to understand that because we've been disassociated with the star story for thousands of years. They've essentially erased the original story and have been rewriting through history all these other cover stories to hide uh, the original star stories of the Mazeroth. You can find a lot of these things like the Dendera. And then there's also more ancient glyphs and uh, lots of temple history with ancient depictions. We even find that in Israel, where we can see the ancient Mazeroth story that is been uncovered, and they don't really talk about it. They don't do the deciphering. They just post it up like it's art. And if you have the ability to do the discoveries and decode the language that's in these so-called art pieces, then you find that it's all Mazeroth language, and that's what that this is how the scriptures were written uh, in the ancient times, is from the star stories. And so what we're doing is we're looking back in time because Biela is involved in our current signs. And so we have to look back and see what we find. Um, Typically, what I've been doing is going back to about 2012 now and forward for looking at the signs. This one really stood out to me when I was looking back, and I actually couldn't believe what I was seeing because this is really a judgment sign to me. Because if you study the ancient Anunnaki stories, the Sumerian literature, and you have the story of Enki, and then Neptune is actually Enki, and Neptune is the god of the sea, and that if you go back to our oldest known language, uh, where we have thousands and thousands and thousands of cuneiform tablets now, and it's Enki who is Neptune. And so what we're looking at here is the Watchmen and Biela. Let's do this really quick just because we have to. Um, it's important to see this language. So, Biela is literally telling you uh, the Anunnaki. And it's tagging them for the flood, and I'm sure it's tagging them for the blackout and for Armageddon, and I'm sure it's tagging them for the crucifixion because they're the ones who create this matrix. And if you are truly understanding what this place is, then you'll realize that this is all it's all a ritual. It's all very, very important to understand that these things are controlled by the masters of this domain. And we're tagging them with the Watchmen. And they're not going to escape the lack of control that they're going to have for not managing this place the way that they were supposed to. They've become the wicked landlord. We can go into details about all of those biblical stories, but that's who they are. They were given a very specific job and they have become the wicked landlord. And what is going to happen soon is they're going to get locked up for what they've done. And this is a prime example of this judgment sign in Aquarius, where you have Biela with the water. This is the Watchman and Biela. And if we go back to Biela, we can see who this really is also speaking to. The first two, three, four codes are really connected to these Watchmen comets. And we've seen these Watchmen comet in other signs, but I wanted to point this out because within the alignment date is a code in itself. And if you are a code breaker or you understand how these numerical figures and these date alignments factor into rituals, then you can see how this language is going to be used. And this comet is going to be involved in the possibility of us seeing this comet. Now, we can remember back here when we were looking at the alignment of Biela with the Eastern fish, and then all we have to do is move forward and we can see how we were watching all of these signs in the springtime, and it's just continued. It continues to stack up, and now what we're looking at is the signs of the foot of the bride. We see Jupiter and Mercury make their alignment, pointing out Castor. And at the exact same time, you have the Biela comets and the Sun and Iris smack dab between the horns of Taurus. and then they make their transition. So now we have the Biela comet marking the foot of the bride, the sun marking the foot. And now what we're looking at is these Biela comets transitioning through the bridegroom, Pollux. And now we have the bridegroom directly between Castor and Pollux as these comets transition away from Gemini and they transition into Cancer. Now, most of you who've been following me for a while, you know how important Cancer is, and you know how important the beehive cluster, or what we would call the manger. This is a very, very important part of the heavens. And if we just back up to the third, when Biela, 3D Biela makes its alignment with Pollux, we have Mercury there at the beehive cluster, Prasepe. And that's the manger where all of the lambs are brought in for protection. This is called inner heaven. There's many different spiritual names for this location in heaven. It's very, very important. And you have Mercury in transition through Persepe at the same day that Biela makes its alignment with Pollux. And hopefully we don't lose that because we need to take a look at this alignment. And let's go ahead and move forward. And it's basically happening on the 3rd. This is our last alignment with the Biela comets. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to transition forward slightly. I want to point out something that I found. This is very, very important star language. And I'm going to start getting into this a little more. This is what caused me to get into the star codes. And then we're going to get into Iris at the foot of the bride, and we're going to go through all of these signs. But I wanted to point out that Biela in 2017 was involved with the Watchmen and the pouring out of judgment on the ruling agents of the matrix. So we have 3D Biela, and I want you to watch this transition. And what we're going to do is we're going to be focused on 3D Biela here. And its alignment with Zeta Cancri. And this is when you have this close of an alignment with the stars, then it really stands out to me. So I wanted to point this out. This is 3D Biela making its alignment with Zeta Cancri, or what they call Tegmine, which is a star group of this is an I mean, if you do the research on this group of stars, it's incredible information. And this comet is literally passing directly through the inner nebula. So whenever I see a comet or an asteroid, or even when the wandering stars go through those specific areas, like we just talked about with Mercury and Persepe here. These are very, very important alignments. And so, again, we're looking at a very important alignment. And if you get in, this is a inner nebula alignment. It's literally going right through the inner nebula. And so what we're going to do is look at these star codes, because this brings out even more language of what we're looking at with Comet Biela inside the nebula of Zeta Cancri. And this is July the 12th, 2024, and Zeta Cancri equals resurrection, the greatest of all time, bullseye, final prophecy, blood sacrifice ritual, ready, set, go, praising all day, Oktoberfest 19, the real Metatron of God, Sumerian, Horus, Maria Magdalena, the Purge, Time Machine, the Throne of God, Orion, Love Codes, Bell, Saturn's Seal, and a Pale Horse. So these are very, very important star codes that come out when this comet makes its alignment on the 12th at the very end of the day. This is right before the 13th. This is incredible because of the things that are happening in the heavens at that time. And we're going to be getting into that in our Mazeroth Decoded series. Real soon, I'm going to be releasing a bunch of information about all the other signs, but we're focused here at the foot of the bride and everything that has been associated with those signs. So we're following these Biela comets until they come into conjunction with this Tegmine star. And this group of stars is very important within the Cancer constellation. And so we're going out this far. And now what we're going to do is we're going to transition to Iris. And we're going to be taking a look at Iris. And we're going to have to transition back to yesterday, and this is the alignment of Iris with the foot of the bride. And so what we're looking at is yesterday we have Iris, the eye of God. So let's take a look. I believe I have Iris up. So let's look at these codes now. This is July the 5th, 2025, the alignment of Asteroid Iris with the foot of the bride, Castor, and Asteroid Iris equals eye of God, eye of God's Son, a rapture. Behold the hand, behold the nail. Mark of the Lord, Christ is King, morning star, serpent bearer, the demonic snake, financial crisis, power outage, release the Kraken code, Mario Bergoglio, Game of Thrones, Spirit of Abraham, a serpent-headed lion. And if you don't know what that is, that's Yaldabaoth, the apocalypse. Behold, a pale horse. So let's quickly go here, and you cannot, I didn't do this, and neither can anybody. These are associated things in the heavens, and they both equal pale horse. You cannot tell me that these things are not aligning on a numerical level that goes really deep. We're looking at Iris aligning with the foot of the bride yesterday, and if we move forward, then Iris again aligns on the exact same day. Again, family, this is just, it's almost too much because now we have on the same day, we have Iris aligning with essentially, it's like uh, the bent knee of Castor. We have Iris aligning on the 12th, the same exact day that Biela aligns with the inner nebula. We have here Iris aligning with the bride. And if you look at the sun's position here, let's just go ahead and just come slightly back. If you look at this on Stellarium with this just exactly the way this is, let's see if I can get this. Uh, if you look here, um, let's go back one day, and I want you to see this. I gotta try to do this in a way that you can visually see this correctly. There we go. Let's go right on meridian. Okay. On the 11th, we have the alignment with the bridegroom with Pollux, which is the bridegroom. And we also, on the 9th and the 10th, we have the alignment with Jupiter with the bride. And if you look on the 11th and the 12th, if you look at the sun's location with the artwork that they have, it literally looks like the sun is holding the scythe. because you have Pollux in his right hand. He has this mini scythe. It's like for grapes. It's for cutting grapes and it's for cutting cordage. It was used for many different things, but it's probably its best representation here is the grapes, because they were used a lot for cutting grapes off the vine, and you literally have the sun holding this scythe here on the 11th and the 12th. Because it's still on the arm here, and then on the 13th it moves away from this, what we would consider the arm of Pollux, and on the 11th it's like a direct alignment, and you can see that here with the sun making its direct alignment with the bridegroom. So we have a very important sign coming up. It's happening between the 5th and the 12th. And with the codes, we really need to keep an eye on what we're looking at in the heavens. You cannot make this up with these codes. And if we just go and we look to the right, we have some other signs developing that are happening right at that same time. And we're going to be getting into this Venus transition of the Golden Gate of the ecliptic. And what I found between the 9th and the 13th is just astronomical, family, the things that are aligning. So we have to keep our eyes to the skies. There's many things that we really need to focus on in the heavens, and we can't take our eyes off it because this is considered the Watchmen sign. And we have to connect Biela with these watchmen, and we need to understand the language that we're looking at with these asteroids and with these comets, and now with the stars. I'm going to be bringing out as much code language as I can because it's all associated and it keeps bringing forth so much more depth, that I want to make sure that I don't miss any of this language. So thanks for coming, family. This is part 3 of At the Foot of the Bride. Much love.